Easy Eye. We'll be back. Who is back is our very special guest this morning, Mr. Lemuel Bradshaw. He is with the United Tissue Center. He was actually on, I think, maybe right around a year ago. And he has a lot of great information to give to us. From what I understand, within kidney disease, as far as kidney disease is concerned, Black and brown Americans are 2 to 4 times likely to develop kidney failure. And so there's a lot of information that we want to get from Mr. Lemuel Bradshaw. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing very well.
Very good, very good. And now, the factoid I just gave, can you talk about that real quick? And then let's jump into to why you're here.
So before I do anything, first and foremost, I want to thank you again for hosting me in August, which is National Minority Donor Awareness Month. It was a year ago or so that I was here. Usually about 2 times a year, I ask to be a guest on this program because of the reach that you have, once during this month of activities, and then once during April, which is National Donate Life Month. And you have allowed me to do it for several years, even before some of the folks at this room joined the team. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
As to what you spoke to, the reason that National Minority Donor Awareness Month is so important is because, just as you said, people in multicultural communities suffer disproportionately as compared to the percentage of the population that they represent, with certain conditions and diseases that lead to transplants: high blood pressure, kidney disease, heart disease, and so forth. As you were saying, African Americans are 4 times more likely than whites to develop kidney disease. Hispanics, Latinos, Native Americans are 2 times more likely than whites to develop kidney disease. And also, these groups wait longer once they are on the transplant waiting list. So what we want to do is keep people off the transplant waiting list. Yeah. I want to work myself out of a job, in other words.
Right, exactly. Now, this is something I understand that you have dealt with personally, from what I understand. Tell me about that.
I have. I am a 2-time heart recipient. Both of my transplants were performed right here in Austin, Texas. Wow. I also want to mention that neither of my transplanted hearts came from an African American. It is possible, definitely, to transplant organs between races, but what is known is that the more markers that can be matched between donor and recipient, the more likely that a transplant would prove successful. Okay. So my own personal experience aside, I still encourage people in diverse communities to consider transplantation, mostly because they are very likely to need or know someone who needs a transplant.
Exactly. So let's jump over real quick to our diet. What we put in our bodies is very, very important. Water, good food. How does that affect the function of our kidneys?
So as I said, even though I'm a donation advocate and I advise, I encourage, I cheer and shout for people to register and add their name to the Donate Life Texas registry, I don't want anyone to have a transplant. I'm not out here saying it's a wonderful thing, because transplants are a treatment, not a cure. If we can prevent it through all the means that you described, healthy living is the key. So yes, healthy foods, an active lifestyle. I have to shout out my colleagues and friends at Austin Public Health, because over the weekend they hosted, and I saw the poster in your lobby for Take a Loved One for a Checkup Day.
Yes, sir.
Their efforts to try to encourage people in diverse communities to take charge of your health, so you never have to go through the experience that I and others have gone through.
Right. Do you find that in our community we have a little bit of a fear of doing that, of being placed on the list of something of that nature?
We do, and I'm not going to say that's an unfounded fear. I mean, a lot of things have happened in our history.
Yes. Sure.
These things are real. But what also exacerbates that is misinformation. We're in, let's say, a season where there's a lot of misinformation about a lot of things out there. And I want your donation decisions to be made yes or no based on information. I want your consent or your dissent to be informed. And people like myself and others in our donation community are there for you to answer questions, to address the fears that are common. Things like, my religion doesn't allow me to become a donor, or I can't have an open casket funeral if I become a donor. nothing is new under the sun. And there are people who have asked and had those questions answered, and we want to be there for you to answer them again.
Exactly. Now, August is National Minority Donor Awareness Month. What is happening for this month to get folks interested
So
in
things like this and others where we actually go out and answer those questions, address those fears, encourage people to add their name to the registry that belongs to us Texans. It's called the Donate Life Texas Registry, and currently over 15 million of us Texans, it belongs to us, have added their name. It is the registry that you would have your name added to if you go through the DPS lines and they say, would you like to register as an organ donor? You are registered for organ, eye, and tissue donation. I encourage you to consider it. Use Donate Life Texas, the website, when you don't have a person in front of you like myself to get information, because that website is the preeminent source for information about organ, eye, and tissue donation. And I would be remiss if I did not mention, since my organization, United Tissue Resources, is a member of the affiliated medical organizations made up as well of We Are Blood, which is the community blood supplier. I'd be remiss if I didn't say that part of their messaging this month is to say that over 50% of people of color have type O blood. But type O blood is always in demand. It is always being used. Therefore, it is always needed. And they are reaching out this month, as well as they do all year, as we do all year, to diverse communities to encourage people to consider becoming blood donors as well.
Gotcha.
Okay, so what he just told us is that when the vampires are out there looking for you, they looking for the brothers. they coming for us first. So you're going to have to turn into Blade if you want to be able to go. But,
Be a day walker.
Yes. Brother Manuel, yes, don't go out at night. The freaks come out at night.
Yeah, they do.
Freaks come out. Brother Manuel, when I look and do a Google search, it says, what foods are hard on your kidneys? And when I search for that, it says salt, canned soups, processed meats like lunch meats, hot dogs, sausages, frozen pizza, frozen dinners, snack foods like chips, crackers, pretzels, condiments like ketchup, barbecue sauce, soy sauce, salad dressing, pickle foods. I see why. For the stat you said was 4 times as likely.
So it's the
I
good
get it.
stuff.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
Probably sugar
All the
filled.
good stuff.
Yeah, sugar-filled stuff.
People who know me, and you don't even have to know me well to know that I can eat pie for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then have dessert, and it will be pie. I'm not saying, as my cardiologist told me, everything in moderation. I'm not saying never enjoy the foods that you like. Life is short, and everything must be enjoyed. However, that can't be a practice.
Yes.
Can't be a practice because, we suffer from things because consequences come from our actions. And if our actions are that we are not taking care of ourselves, then you end up on lists that you do not want to end up on.
So there are other things like we all grow up and you hear things about flushing. So like when I think of good things for your kidney, I think of cranberry juice, carrot juice. I mean, we could, we think those are still factual, right? When it comes to care.
I'm not even going to pretend. I know you have a medical show as well as part of
Yes,
what
we do.
what KAZI offers to the community, and I would not pretend to be a medical professional, but I would advise, and this is part of this effort, I would advise people to find, and if you can, find a medical resource to ask the questions about what kind of dietary restrictions or considerations that you need to make, about what kind of lifestyle changes you should make, or just to get a checkup. Because sometimes what you do is based on what they know about you. And if you know nothing about yourself and your current medical state, you can't make the kind of changes that you need to make to keep you off the list of those who need a transplant.
Amen to that. Mr. Lemuel Bradshaw is talking with us of the United Tissue Center. Information is key, of course, and being online, being able to find that information. Where can folks go to contact you or to contact the United Tissue Center?
So United Tissue Resources is the area's provider of allograft tissue services. And what that is the same registry I'll tie it into the Donate Life Texas website since we're talking about where to get information. Donate Life Texas, as I mentioned, is the preeminent source online for Texans to get information about making the choice concerning donation, dispelling myths and misconceptions, and then adding their name from the drop-down menu to the registry itself. Donate Life America is that for all Americans, and you will be guided by state to the registry of your choice. If you want to find out more about United Tissue Resources and the other agencies that we partner with, the Texas Organ Sharing Alliance, which handles organ donation here, matching hearts, lungs, livers, and kidneys, and so forth, and Miracles in Sight, which matches sight-saving corneas from those who donate them to those who need them, restoring sight every single year to tens of thousands.
Wow.
They have their respective websites. And lastly, ours, United Tissue Resources. Look us up. We're on social media as well, and we are begging you to follow, like, do all the things, because those resources allow us to share information throughout the year, not just in August. Look us up on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, United Tissue Resources. You might see my face a couple hundred times, maybe a time or two too many, but I welcome any and all outreach.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Any other information you want to share with us before we let you enjoy your pie for the rest of the day?
Well done.
You started a little too early with the pie talk, because I'll swing by and grab one, and everybody
Amen
who
to
knows
that.
me knows that.
Yes,
If
sir.
you're in the San Antonio area, stop by St. Philip's College, because Donate Life Texas has an exhibit in the library there, and it is 12 stories that share the 12 core values that make Texans strong and united. And they are actual stories of people like me, and you might, again, see my face among those. But it's really just to show you that donation and the need for donation is real. But there is an other side to this. And once you make it through the lives that these people can touch because others have made a choice to become organ, eye, and tissue donors, it's a wonderful thing. And then lastly, because I end all of my calls to action with this, again, I've said it once, I'll say it again, donatelifetexas.org to add your name. And also consider living donation, because if there's one thing that we also must remember is that the need for kidneys, especially in our communities, is not going to be met by just people who become deceased donors. There's too many people. There are over 103,000 people on the national transplant waiting list. About 90 some odd thousand of them are waiting on kidneys.
Wow. That's
And there
amazing.
is no way that we'll address that need through just deceased donation. So if you can, consider donating a kidney. I live now with just one kidney. Everyone can, or many people can. Once again, not a medical professional. And that's the only way that we're going to address that need, especially in our community.
Very good. Very good. All right. Give us a website real quick, and we're going to let you go one more time.
Donate Life Texas and United Tissue Resources.
There we
Thank
go.
you.
Thank you, Mr. Lemuel Bradshaw. We appreciate you. Yeah. All right. And we love seeing you, and hopefully we will continue to decrease the number of folks who have to be in the situation.
He said he acts twice a year, so we're blessed with that. Kidney donation is such a selfless act. I think for everyone that's out there, if you've ever been hesitant, just think about how you can significantly improve the quality of life for someone in need. Yeah. And if for no other reason, you could have peace of mind, that you fulfillment of your life, that you've been able to do it's called living donation, that you were able to help someone else out. You could save a life. Who doesn't have the superhero complex? Right. So those are the two that come to the top of my head. And then more importantly, I coach, I'm in youth sports, and why do we all say we do what we do about making a difference, right? Yeah. And if that had to be the third reason, I just wanted to come behind Brother Manuel and just remind y'all just what we are how you are benefiting if you consider donation.
Exactly. Fantastic.
Well said.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. Thank you for coming by. We'll take